pastor, I learned always to have a glass of water or a water bottle in the chancel with me. This is my water bottle. It's a gift from my cousin. How heavy do you think this water bottle is? Any ounces? 32? Plus 4 for the steel bottle that is not killing me through the plastic, yes. Well, so here's the next thing. The weight really doesn't matter. What matters is how long I hold it. If I hold it for a minute, it's really not a problem. It's even got this handy dandy loop right here for me to hold it. But if I hold it for an hour, like by the time the service is over, I'll have an ache in my arm. And if I hold it for a day, you really might have to call an ambulance, right? It'll just become too much. But in each case, the weight is the same. The longer I hold it, the heavier it becomes. I could just set it down. I know you're all thinking that. Just set down the water bottle. But here's the thing about me. I don't know if you've ever come in on a Sunday and seen that I have coffee mugs everywhere in the sanctuary. But here's the thing, you do too, because you bring in your water bottles and coffee mugs and tea things, and we find them all over the building. I really do invite you to go down to the kitchen this morning and see if it's down there, because I'm sure that it is. So I don't want to lose this water bottle, but I also can't carry it all by myself all day long. The same can be true of the burdens we carry. There's no way to just put them down. I know people tell you that, just put it down, but there's no way to do that. They are with us. But if we carry our burdens all the time, all by ourselves, sooner or later the burden becomes increasingly too heavy to carry. Shane Koisland has said, people cry not because they are weak, it's because they've been strong for too long. We have to learn that practicing persistence, the theme of our month, practicing persistence in our lives is not about being strong indefinitely. It's about learning to ask for help. So Wynn, can you hold my water bottle?
Sure.
Until the end. How many of us are good at asking for help? Really, like if you're good at asking for help, seriously, raise your hand. Okay, keep your hands up. How many of you are good at offering help? Okay, let's just have the other crew up first. Good at asking for help? I want you to just see who these people are. Look around for a minute. Because I want you to learn from them. They are our gurus. Seriously. Well, the call came for me on a Tuesday morning. It was my mom. She said, it's time. My father, as many of you know, has lived with early onset Alzheimer's for the last 5 years. When we celebrated his 60th birthday, he's super young, he was ecstatic. When you grow up with type 1 diabetes, he said, you were told that you won't live to be 40 or 45 years old, and I have beaten the odds, and he was jubilant. He had. And it was at that same time that he also noticed that there was something going on with his brain. It just wasn't functioning the way that it had. And what we learned is that doctors are now calling this type of vascular dementia as the 3rd stage of type 1 diabetes. When he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, my mom became his primary caregiver, and our family knew, however, that there would come a day when my mom could no longer handle his care. Now let me tell you, this woman gave it a Herculean effort. Nevertheless, the day came on Tuesday, August 28th. It was time for my dad to move into a nursing home, and we had 36 hours to move him. As you can imagine, it was not the best timing. It never is. Everything had to be put on hold, and I had to ask for help. These were not small favors I was asking for, but these were big, heart-wrenching acts of goodwill. I called my parents' next door neighbor. can you watch my kids during the day? Then I called my parents' best friends, can you help us pack up and move his stuff? Then I called my dad's church buddy, can you come with us on the first day and be with my dad and hold his hand? I called my mom's new interim minister in her Presbyterian church, hey, I know you don't know me and you really don't even know my mom yet, but can you take over the ushering schedule that she always does for the next few weeks? Call after call after call, people I knew, people I didn't, asking for help. Visitors often walk through our doors in times of life transitions. They've just moved to the area and they don't know anybody. They've just lost their job and discovered that their work colleagues were their primary community. Their spouse or their best friend has just died and they are missing their anchor in life. Each one of them is asking the question, who are my people? Who are my people? It's the question asked of Sarah Lambert by the young Kenyan warrior in our reading. And we stumble with our answers, just like Sarah stumbled, realizing that our culture of individualism and pulling ourselves up by our bootstraps has left us vulnerable and lonely. And many of us believe, whether consciously or unconsciously, that we can and that we should function all by ourselves. That is, until the bottom falls out. And then we ask, who are my people? As our worship team was planning this service, I shared that earlier in the week, I woke up singing a song in my head, and it just wouldn't leave me.